Our mission is to empower you to use your knowledge and intuition to create a portfolio that works for you, to build the confidence you need to navigate the crypto market, and to feel secure when you're ready to invest into the new financial system. We care. Our investments, we take them personally. We will never present a coin or a project to you that we have not invested in ourselves or done the extensive research we feel is required. At Vibra, we are a team that will take you step by step through the cryptocurrency market with confidence. Being a client of Vibra allows you exclusive access to our community in our private Discord server where you can chat with our consultants. They are ready, willing, and able to help you with any of your problems. These services are a rich resource for those of you that are looking for a place to start that they can trust. Becoming a client of Vibra starts with welcoming you to share your long and short-term goals with us by scheduling a complimentary 15-minute chat via phone or Zoom. We look forward to getting to know more about you and how we can best assess your individual asset, portfolio, and financial goals. We provide solutions on how to self-custody your crypto as well as how to gain exposure without directly owning crypto. Ultimately, this leads us to maintaining a long-standing relationship based on trust. We are committed to empowering and educating crypto investors on how to take and make decisions and maximize returns. We provide value with extensive market knowledge, active portfolio management, and our industry associates so you can reach your financial goals.
Hello.
Hello. How are you doing?
Wherever you are in this world, hello.
Hello. How is everyone?
Good. How are you ladies going?
I'm doing great. It's been a good day.
What's going on at your house, Redbird?
Well, 10 seconds ago, see that little wait. That
they're both right behind you, yeah.
Right behind me. Was that deer that I messaged y'all she just came cruising by. These two here, they wildflowers will just be going nuts in about a couple of weeks. And so that was one of the ladies. The boys have been visiting more than I saw them last year, which has been crazy. But and the ladies have just been running. Like, all right, you're off to somewhere. I tried to get her so that I could show you all, but she as soon as I started talking, she's like, yeah, I'm moving on.
Do you feed them, Redbird?
No, I don't really have to. So I mean, since I don't have to have them, I rather not interfere. So just kind of let them be and do their thing.
And that's your house?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's so cool.
Allegedly.
No, I accidentally fed them last fall. Apparently they like jack-o'-lanterns. So
you love pumpkins. Yes.
Yeah, I didn't know this. And so I set our jack-o'-lanterns out after Halloween, and I was going to bring them over to my neighbor's for her compost, because she's just I don't know how the heck she does what she does up here. We're at 7,000 feet, and it's mostly I'm in a forest, but it's a high desert. Anyway, my friend's just amazing. So I was going to bring them over for her compost, and I looked down and they were just demolished. And if I was still in Southern California, I'd have been like, ew, rats, right? Because normally when things are taken down like that, it's giant sized rats that you get when things are warm and cozy year round. But then I saw them, it was right next to our back door, just right there. It was this little man with one horn knocked off. So apparently he's already trying to butt heads, just demolishing the pumpkin. And I was like, oh, that's cute.
Mad at that. Hey, little guy. You know, What are you up to in your neck of the woods, Sammy? What's going on down there?
Oh, just been busy. So it's our winter now, just come in. So I've like had a cold like for a month. It's been terrible. But yeah, just busy with work and went out with the girls last night dancing. You know, this bear market's a bit rough. So getting out and enjoying myself. Looking forward to PulseCon. So getting everything organized for that. That's only less than 100 days away now. So
Ooh, that just got me extra excited.
yeah, so it's not long now. So yeah, just been doing stuff for that, and of course the kids, and yeah. What about you, ladies? I know Redbird. How'd you go with your friend's move? How did that go?
Oh, you know what? That was amazing. Like I was, it's a lot,
Yeah,
to relocate from, she literally, it was the county she was born in, and we're not young. So
yeah,
that's a long time. Like we grew up there and we've been friends for 35 years. And we weren't, we were double digits when we met. Let's just call it that. And so
yeah,
I was really, I was there to support the process, whatever that needed, whatever it was going to
yeah.
be. But she was just amazing. Like, she was so ready when the time came, and like, oh my gosh, the truck was freaking enormous. And so I'll, dox it a little bit. We grew up in Southern California. So many people are leaving California that her truck cost what my employer, just the truck, not the gas, cost the same amount that my employer paid to have movers pack me up and move my stuff here 6 years ago.
Oh
Like
my god.
no one's bringing the trucks back. So it was like, and if she had like people, like if someone else drive the truck and the gas and everything else, it would have been 3 times as much. So she's driving this 26-foot box truck, and I don't like. Lindsay's met me in person. Like I'm knee high to a grasshopper. And she's like my height, and we're not young. So like this
Yeah.
thing has air brakes, and like we're going up and over like multiple mountain ranges, and air horn, and it's humongous. It's like it's
Wow.
huge diesel freaking beast. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, okay. Like even like when like the people were like, when they saw her, like from Penske, like where she rented the truck from, to like the movers that helped her, get her stuff into it and everything. Like everyone did the smoky and Craig, like, damn, like, the best. They're like, and she said, they're like, who's driving the truck? She's like, me. They're like, we had so much fun. Like she was just, she was amazing. She was in such good spirits the whole way. And yeah, it was awesome. I was
that's
grateful to be there for her.
Troopers.
You're such a good friend. My god. And how many hours drive is it from her location to the move?
If we had done it straight, it's going to be, well, in the truck, I mean, up and over, there were times when like top speed on that thing was 45 miles an hour. So, we did it over a couple of days. Our families live within 10 miles of each other in Northern California. So the first night we went from South Orange County to NorCal. That took us 10 hours. A little bit of traffic going through LA and stuff, but it was mostly just slow going. I had her dog. We needed dog breaks. Driving that big truck's exhausting. So normally it would like in a car, it takes me 6.5, 7.
Jeez.
But in the truck, it took us a solid 10. So we spent the night there, saw both of our families, had a blast, and then we went made it into Eugene the second day. Stayed in a nice Airbnb, like right by the campus there at the University of Oregon. And then the last day, we just only had a couple of hours to like get into her place and meet the movers, and then spent the rest of the day kind of unloading the truck and getting that organized. So it was a lot, but it was, like I said, we had fun.
Yeah,
I love that you make that sound easy. You're like, well, we just moved everything like, up the coast, and we just packed it like a 26-foot truck and drove hills. Like, it's no big deal. Like, not everyone is brave enough to do those things. So, kudos to you ladies.
Yeah, and this is why she's been one of my best friends, or my best friend for 35 years. Like, she's okay. I've been handed lemons. Let's go let's go, I don't know, make lemonade, a couple of pies, what crazy, what can we do from here? Like it's, we're not going to just let it be sour.
Yeah.
Allergies. They're the best.
And Lindsay, what about you? What have you been doing?
I have been really settling in and trying to reconstruct my portfolio and go through things. Like my beginning of the year was a little bit nuts, so I've really been starting to like dive into it now, which I know is not the most opportune time, but we can segue into that later. Like just really getting comfortable with things and being uncomfortable doing things too, like this being, streaming and stuff. But really, I've just been hunkering down deep and really working and engaging with other communities. And I don't know. I could talk about that like for hours, but that'd be boring.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. You're always busy,
Yeah.
always doing something. And
It's
you had a
awesome.
move as well. You had a move
Yeah,
recently.
we did. We sure did. We hiked our stuff east and west, and now we're settled, and it's been so good. But there is a lot. That's a lot of, looking at the pricing going up in these trucks is, oh boy. And then adding diesel, the cost of diesel. I don't know what it is by you, Sammy, but the last I looked around here it was like 710 or 720, something like that.
That's a
And
gallon. That's a
yeah,
gallon.
a gallon. And
Oh,
a liter, correct?
oh, we go by the liter, but it's so expensive here. I think I paid last night about $2 something a liter, which is Australian.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know how many gallons are in a liter, but it's around about the same. Like we pay about the same price as you guys when it's all
Yeah.
worked out. It's driving me crazy. Like last night, I thought I got to put petrol in my car to get home. This is late at night. Thought it was prepay, so I had to go in. I put $30 in. I came back and it's not even like half full. It's like Jesus, it's so expensive.
Yes, you have to DCA your gas tank these days.
This is true. This is true.
This is how basic we're taking things is we have to DCA our gas tank, and I have been cracking up at the amount of male streamers that have been coming on and saying, I went to the store and bought a loaf of bread for my wife, and I can't believe the cost of bread these days. Like I have heard that across the board
Yeah.
times, but it's true. Like you really have to, hit the basics with a budget for things. That's
Yeah.
like what the topic is tonight with everything. Like we can flow anywhere is building a billionaire mindset in a bear market. And whether we're in a bear market or not, it doesn't matter because we're always in some sort of bear market situationally somewhere in our lives, right?
Yeah.
So
True.
you can take these concepts in a broad manner and run with them in any way that you like. But the biggest thing for all of us and what brings us all together, the three of us, our commonality is that we see the value in buying something that has value with research, intention, community, all the good boxes that we like to check here at Vibra. Then we have known that what it's taught us is to buy, stake, hold it, right? Like the long-term gain, the real way to gain legacy wealth is to get those hands out and hold them like diamonds, right? Well, I mean, not actual diamonds because we won't get into that. That's a different stream, but maybe something more rare than diamonds, perhaps.
That's so true. And I just wanted to add, here in Australia, they're paying $9 for a lettuce now. Can you believe it? $9. That's Australian dollars. That's probably around about $6 US. Another $6. Isn't that crazy?
Is why? That is a really good question. Why?
Well,
Why?
it's basically demand, supply and demand. Gas prices going up here and just everything. It's a flow-on effect of everything, like just going crazy. And that it's shocking here. Everything's going. Even your dollar pasta, your budget dollar pasta is $1.20 now. Like everything's gone up. But also on that note, Lindsay, Richard Hart says two people get rich in crypto: founders and holders. So if you want to get rich, you just got to hold on. you know?
Hold on for one more day. Yeah, Wilson Phillips sang about it like years ago. We were all paying attention.
True. Yeah.
No,
Well,
like
and that's an interesting, thing. I was thinking about, I mean, clearly not a billionaire, right? So I'm like, when we were talking about the topic, I'm like, well, why do I feel like I have something to say about this? Because I'm not a billionaire, but I definitely feel like I have something to say, so I'm going to say it. But I think that's the thing is that, when you're thinking about just bear markets or any market, honestly, like when the economic energy it takes to create, billionaire status, and most of that is not personal wealth. Like most billionaires are billionaires because of their shares in another creation, a company they own or something like that. It's not their necessarily entirely their personal wealth. It's their personal wealth in the sense that it's a share of the business. But the economic energy it takes to create that, they're not looking at their balance sheets or their bank statements to create that. They're creating stuff. So that speaks to the founder aspect of how to create, that billionaire mindset and that those billions of dollars. It comes from creation, and creation doesn't come from staring at your scorecard. Very successful friend of mine who was a finance major, like, had his laugh, when he was talking about his, freshman, class in accounting, and he's in there and the professor asked him, like, who are the accountants and who are the who are the accounting majors and who are the finance majors? And, the finance majors raised their hand, the accounting majors raised their hand, like, congratulations, finance majors, you're playing the game, they're keeping score. Nothing against accountants, but because I've known some really, really successful, you have to know how to keep score if you're going to create that kind of wealth. It's an important tool, but it's not the end of the game. So creation, whatever that may be, like just this, the streaming, like I don't, the fact that I don't know what I have to say when I open my mouth sometimes when I go on with you, because this is so new to me. But I'm still, I'm not just sitting back looking at my, my MetaMask or my Staker app. We're here creating, the three of us together right now are creating an economic energy towards something we're already invested in. So we're adding value to the ecosystem.
Absolutely. Time is money, and time's valuable. So, and you ladies are valuable. I love that I've met all you ladies and we have got that in common, that we're thinking of our future, and saving that money on everyday groceries and putting it towards delayed gratification for the future. And I'm not a billionaire either. I'm far from being a billionaire or a millionaire. That's not it. But, I've seen the gains you can make in crypto. And I mean, even the smaller amount of money that I've made, I'm still impressed by, and I'm thankful that I've made it. Like there's nothing as good as cryptocurrency. There's nothing that appreciates as fast as cryptocurrency, but still there's so much to learn. Like you can have crypto and you can watch the market, but to time it is like really, really hard, and timing it without regret. But I suppose it's just another thing you got to learn. I mean, even Richard Hart says it's really difficult to time the market.
yeah, that's why you have to spend time in it. Not
you gotta hold. You can't time the market. It'll come back, and like I literally had this experience in the office today, or not today, this week, maybe yesterday, where we wrote a deal like a year ago, and it was a construction project, so delayed by supply chain issues, delayed for other reasons. Actually, it wasn't even that delayed, but the market's changed so dramatically. Like we're looking at the pricing at it now, and it's like, oh, good gravy! Like like these are experienced finance professionals that signed off on all of this, but it was 12 months ago in a different environment, and just like that, the paradigm shifted. And what looked like a really good deal that we were making for both the borrower and ourselves back then is now like, oh, well, okay, we won't be writing those anymore. Not like that. And that's a trickle down effect that makes to $9 lettuce. The cost of financing goes up, the cost of gas goes, the cost of transportation. All of these costs come into the products that then we go to the store and buy. Every single one of these pennies takes you from, $2 lettuce to $9 lettuce.
Yeah. Yep.
Absolutely. I don't know if you guys caught it last night, but Fashion Coder and I went through, I was all over the place with that, but that's what streaming is about, is practice, practice over progress over perfection, right? What's up, Mobius? Hey, thank you for joining us. Um, Side note, ooh. So we went through supply chain and how we got through, we started having a conversation about a sweater from Ralph Lauren, and then we followed that through the crypto loophole, and we uncovered some cool things. And she showed us some ways to protect ourselves by reading. Well, I'll get into that later for the roadmap. She went through that, and it was really cool. So that was, if that's something that, whatever. But anyway, that was along that point, supply chain and stuff like that is going to be tokenized.
Wow.
I think that's so fascinating. Like when
Yeah.
I look at my financial life, like I've always like supply chain is always something, logistics is always something I've been a little bit passionate about. And I think it's kind of merged into my affinity for crypto. And, I've always lived near a ship, like large shipping points, big rail yards, major, highway systems, just, like that go from coast to coast along the country. And so to think of supply chain and, logistics from a cryptocurrency standpoint is amazing. And I didn't catch that stream yesterday, but I'm like looking forward to catching up with it. Fashion Coder is so good about like just getting in there and breaking it down in a way that's digestible. I don't know crap about code. Like I just like it's not my world, but I'm so curious about it.
And you're like, tell me more.
Yeah.
In a genuine way, because she's so relatable and she really does break it down, and she does such a good job for us.
Yeah. And having that connection to something I know, like even when I was a student, I used to like to do literature and history from the same time periods at the same time. I wrote better papers in both by doing it that way. So when I can make tangible connections like that to something or to something else, I learn it at a deeper level.
Absolutely, which is what we're supposed to be doing in these times when things are down. We're supposed to be investing not only in ourselves, in our wealth, but in ourselves too. That's important. Going through like long term, you really have to think about what your goals are. Setting a goal. That's part of having a billionaire mindset, in which both of you ladies already have billionaire mindsets. Whether you're anything shows it or not, it doesn't matter. It's how you feel and it's how you speak that will just change the way that you view things. That gives you that ability to hold on long term because you're able to let go of fear. Have you guys ever heard of Tim Ferriss?
Yes.
No.
All right. What were you going to say, Robin?
No,
Sorry.
I was not at all. No, continue on the Tim Ferriss thing. It'll probably touch.
Sorry. You look like I was like either a deer's gonna swoop over your head or she had a good thought. I wanted to catch a good thought out of you. Yeah.
Not as loud as they'll go up the hill a little bit, as loud as I'm being right now.
No, you're so good with it. Oh, hey, what's up, Tin Top? Thanks for joining us. Bet Finesse, thank you for being here. Sorry. Side note, my Fashion Coder and I made a pact yesterday to be more interactive with our chat, because having you guys on stream, and like I want to have you have more interaction with everybody too. So yeah. But anyway, that's just a side note there. I got off my hand. I started talking about staking, holding, long term. Oh, fears and Tim Ferriss. That's where I went through with that rabbit hole. But there's a whole fear exercise that you can walk yourself through. I'll share it here. When you open up your browser in the morning, your phone, your app, your favorite one. This is my favorite one because I kind of like to just say like, oh, I'm waking up to Bubbles this morning. No, I'm just going to pop Bubbles up on stream like it's another friend of mine. But looking at this now, Sammy, you work in an industry that does a great deal of risk assessment with what you do. And what do you see with comparing like what you do for your daily with what you're seeing in these bubbles?
Well, I
Like,
love crypto
like
and
scared? Does it look risky?
Yeah, well, to me, I've been in for a while, so I know I don't even look at it anymore. Like, I really don't look at my stake app. I don't really look at the charts. Occasionally, I'll have a look at Bitcoin, see what that's doing, because that's the boss, and that's going to drag everything down if it goes down. So when I see something like this, I look at it. Yeah, it's a buying opportunity, but personally, this is not advice to anyone. But I think that Bitcoin will go lower. Um, and I'm personally waiting for a better buying opportunity. Yeah, it's not good, but it's like because we know what it is and we're used to it, it doesn't phase me. I'm just like, oh yeah, whatever. Cryptocurrency goes through a 3-year bear market, so we know that. But panic sellers would see this and see their $1,000 they put in a hex at the all-time high, for example, go down to $100, and they're like, oh, I've lost all my money. Well, if you look at it that way, you shouldn't be in crypto because you're investing in the coins and you've still got the coins. And if you've ever seen crypto run up, like it is crazy. If you don't hold on and you panic and you sell, well, you're gonna lose out because that's the secret to the sauce. You got to hold on.
Oh yeah, there is secret to the sauce. There's lots of saucy things going on out there in the networks, so to speak.
That's the quarterback looking at the scoreboard and not getting his head in the game. 100%. On my flight back from, I am not a Lambs fan, even though I'm from SoCal. But I was a really big 49ers fan. Anyway, I saw American Underdog. And on my flight home, and it was a really like nostalgic, thing for me because I, watched a boatload of football, and he was a big Joe Montana fan, and I'm a big 49ers fan. So it was, anyway, long story longer. I was, if you watch that movie, it kind of gives you that idea of where you should be in this type of environment in a bear market. You don't focus on what's not happening for you right now. You get your head where your feet are, think about what the game plan is, set your goals, and then just go for them. Don't look backwards. You're not going that way.
Yeah.
Don't look where you're not going. Keep your eye on the ball and move it down the field, and sometimes you're going to move it down the field, a couple of yards, and you're going to get knocked back a yard, but you still made forward progress. And sometimes you're going to get knocked down the field, you're going to go way far. And sometimes the ball's going to get ripped out of your hands and it's going to run back in the other goal. Well, you just pick it up and, keep moving it down the dang field, whatever that means. We're doing that by doing this. We all, like I've spoken with, both of you offline, we all have very rich in real life lives. Like we carve out time to do this because we understand the value of it. And,
Yes.
And we're creating that value. We're contributing to it. We're moving the ball down the field for ourselves and others, which feels good.
It does. Yeah, it certainly is. There are ways to get exposure to crypto without necessarily owning crypto, though. Like there are many opportunities out there. If you have, and there are opportunities to roll things that you're traditionally invested in, or as they call TradFi, traditional investments like a 401k, a Roth IRA. If you have, there are opportunities out here everywhere. And one of them being, if I can get my mouse to go over to the other monitor here, I'm getting there. One of these opportunities is I Trust Capital. And I don't know if either one, like, I know that Robin, we've had this discussion before. I know that I've mentioned it on stream with you. Sammy, are you familiar with I Trust Capital?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so they are a crypto IRA platform. And it is so like I'm looking at someone who's at a dollar cost analysis of anywhere from paycheck to paycheck to 10,000 to enter in, right? And the beauty with iTrust is that you have exposure to crypto within an IRA. So Redbird's going to talk more about this because she's the
I am.
I want you to talk more about the tax
Yes. So I'm not sure how it applies to you, Sammy, in Australia. But what this does is it lowers your adjusted gross income. It lowers your income tax basis in the United States. It gives you an opportunity to invest in your retirement and reduce your taxes today. And also, some you have to pay full taxes on when you retrieve. Sometimes you don't. Depends if it's a Roth or another IRA. I'm not going to go down this rabbit hole too deep because it's something I don't want to get into financial advice, number one. And number two, there's better people to discuss, those vehicles in a specific basis.
And it's very
But
unique.
long story longer is you can DCA more because you're not using straight after tax dollars to do it. I mean, you're doing that at the beginning, but it reduces your tax liability at the end of the year. So you might get a refund or you pay less. So it allows you to DCA more. Long story longer, it allows you to DCA more.
It allows you to DCA more. So you're able to spend more time assessing the risk of everything, which is something we just do naturally. It's not something that we wake up and we're like, I'm going to assess the risk of this versus this. Like, we just naturally do it. But I think when we're going through something so important as our finances, because this is what's leading us to our financial independence, our financial freedom, our financial literacy, all these things as we're researching, right? I trust is exposure into crypto with your IRA. And it has a 1% transaction fee. So it's super low. It's quick. It's seconds, not minutes, like we're used to in our crypto. And it's protected. So you're not entering your seed phrases and passwords. It's protected by their insurance, their entity. But you can go in with as little as $1,000 to start an account. And I think that's really important because not a lot of people know that tool and option is available out there to you. You can take an existing 401k, like an old job, and then roll it over into here. And I just think that's such an amazing opportunity for young investors. We have Generation X, millennials. We have all sorts and spans of viewers in our audience. And I think it's really important from the person that's, should I get a coffee today to, do I want to buy a Lambo? We have those in our audience too. So it's a beautiful way to kind of get that message out there to everybody. I feel like you should know I get excited about these things, and I want everybody to know like that this is a really solid opportunity. And we do a ton of research, and so it's not something I would talk about freely, but absolutely do your own research on these things and find out if this is something that's appropriate for you, if it's something, all the things that we'd like to do. Research.
Yeah. And so a lot of people who have had different employers will have, they'll have a 401k that they roll from employer to employer. And honestly, right now, I don't know who's really that impressed with the action in their 401k or in a bear market. And you might have a little one that just, it wasn't worth the fees, that you didn't roll from some other employer and the fees were low there. But it's not something you're actively using. You set it aside till you're 72. So it's already like staked in a sense. But imagine, I personally am analyzing some of, my stuff to see, do I have anything that I might want to roll into something like this and start working with it more actively again? And sort of like, instead of that, what is that old late night free infomercial, with the set it and forget it, cooker machine. I don't know. My dad used to love those things, but some new kitchen gadget, the salsa maker or whatever it was. But I mean, if I'm going to set it and forget it anyway, why not set it exactly? Thank you, Georgia. Right. For my 401k sucks. Like I'm much rather something. I mean, it's a tool and it's good and it's been okay. Yeah. But I'm very, very interested in doing this once I get some other housekeeping items done in my personal financial world, which is another thing that bear markets provide us with an opportunity to do. Like, billionaires wouldn't necessarily be too harsh on themselves or judge. I find that people who create really massive creations tend to have a ton of self-love, so they don't shit on themselves for long. But the taking stock of what you have and whether or not it's still working for you and moving things around based on whether it is or isn't, or moving things out, this is going to Goodwill and this is going to the trash and all that. Like, the bear markets are an excellent time for taking stock.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
so trust capital, you can roll your superannuation or 401k into this kind of thing.
I think it has to be. I don't know. I don't know the specifics of it with that. Like I don't know how that would work, but yeah.
Yeah, probably wouldn't be able to. Like, we probably wouldn't be able to do it because ours is really technical. I know with people in Australia with their superannuation, which is exactly the same as your 401k, they have a self-managed super fund where they have their own accountants do it all for them. But something like this is a perfect tool if you were living in the USA and you wanted to do something with your superannuation. It looks like it's really easy to use. Are you keeping the coins? If you buy crypto, are you keeping the coins in on a wallet on their exchange here on Trust Capital?
It's actually not an exchange. It's an IRA crypto platform. So you are within like their system. So you're
Right.
not on an exchange where your wallet and your keys are at risk for getting hacked. It's
Mhm.
to purchase into iTrust Capital because of regulations and the things where they are right now. You actually
Okay.
have to like fiat in. So that is something like, or roll over an existing that way.
Mhm.
But yeah, that you can actually trade right inside the platform and the transaction fees are 1%, like very low slippage. So it's a great opportunity to go through as we cycle through markets is to put, you know, oh, here, let me see. I was like, oh, here, I can show you better. That I can talk about it. But okay, one of the tools that I like to use when we're like going through and showing somebody what an example portfolio would look like instead of iTrust would be something like this, where we have so this is like our dream account, right? For example. So in here we have what we consider to be like the top coins that are listed in iTrust and in, no particular order, listed by the way that they're moving. But I think that that's a really cool tool. Actually, you can go in and do this for your own portfolio if you during a bear market, if you need to do some financial recording housekeeping in Queen Market Cap here, you just go up to portfolio and then you can add a new one and create your own. So I think that's kind of cool. And you don't have to have anything actually purchased on here. You can just create a portfolio and keep track of it that way. I think that's kind of a neat tool.
That's cool.
Yeah. So anyway, this is just kind of an idea of what you can go in and do 24/7 trading with. And that's something so new to, combining your IRA and 24/7 trading that you can control. Like, yes.
Absolutely.
So I think that was kind of cool.
Well, Georgia was just saying they won't let her take out any of her 401k unless it's to buy a house or medical bills. That just goes to show you work so hard for that money. It is for your retirement, but they're still dictating how and when and how you can use that money. It's not really fair, is it?
It's this system has been created to be overly complicated, um, by default. And at this point, so many industries are served by it. I mean, the tax code is ridiculous, right? The fact that we have to create like these vehicles were created in a system that was already, I mean, and this is another thing that, understanding history and understanding, where you're at, understanding the foundation of the spaces in which you play, knowing their history, it's very revealing. The 401k system was created on a flawed platform, period. Like even, I mean, these are great. They were tools created to help navigate an already flawed platform, which is our tax code.
Yeah.
But they're still creations on a flawed platform. So we have to take them for what they are and then, try to figure out to use them or not use them as they work for us or don't work for us. I'm very curious about this. I think it's a great way to be in the space in other ways with stuff that I don't think is necessarily working as hard as it could for me because of all the flaws. So I'm very curious. I need to get. I keep saying this. I'm like, Lindsay introduced this to me probably like a month and a half ago, 2 months ago now, and I'm still like, I keep saying like, I need to do this. I need to do this.
Then, well, that's something that that's another tool to hone in on your mindset and what you're doing. Because I know it's like there's things that are situational. There's things like life happens, and then we're like, oh, there's me like restructuring a portfolio, and oh, I don't know, June. That seems like a great time. Anyway, so, but I'm looking at those things, and there's tools and exercises using a journal, writing those things down, going through getting rid of the can'ts. I can't afford it. I can't do it. I can't do this, and switching that to tens and going forward from there, right? And like where those places take you are places like Link2 for accredited investors. Are you guys familiar with this platform at all?
Nope.
No.
This is a very cool platform for accredited investors looking to get exposure to crypto without actually custodying crypto. So it's actually coming in, and there are like IPO exposure, early days. So in here, like over here, you'll see Ripple, right? And you've heard around in our ecosystem, or probably from me at some point, XRP, all these things that are coming on XRP. And like, so going through seeing brands that they're connected with right now, Kraken, FinTech, BitPay, impossible, right? So brand recognizable, like things that are already starting to be recognizable are available to be invested in on this platform. You just have to you have to have the financial requirements, which what are those? Financial certification, $1 million net worth, and income 200,000 for a single person, 300 plus for with a spouse. So then that's like with a minimum of 5K. So that's another option that's available to us to put in our bear market plan, journal, strategy, wherever you're writing these things down and carrying out your I don't know, what do you guys do to track your finances on that? Do you have a journal? Do you use like spreadsheets?
I'm lazy with my finances, to be honest. Like, I know what goes out and what goes in. And all I know is I just try and tighten my belt with everything. But I mean, I suppose we have necessary purchases like school fee deductions, or whatever. Car, insurances, registration. But yeah, I mean, in regards to family groceries, I just really try my best and try and keep, it to a minimum. Only buy what I need. Occasionally we'll lash out. Occasionally kids want things, but I don't live an extravagant lifestyle. I don't travel a lot. Well, I did go to Sydney at the beginning of the year. I'm going to Vegas in September, but we don't have a lot of expensive house holidays or dinners. We do live very frugally, and that's just how we manage our life. We live within our means, and and I'm glad we do. I'm not fancy, and I mean, one day I'd like to have fancy things, but at the moment, I don't borrow over my head to try and look fancy or be fancy when I really can't afford it, because I know it's going to bite me in the ass. Like, for example, interest rates are going up here. I think they're going up overseas too. So you're looking at an extra couple of $100 for those mortgage payments. The more your house is worth. And these people that went and bought these big, gigantic houses, and they've got these massive repayments. If they've ever seen interest rates go up like they did in the 80s, well, my parents had it, they were paying it 17%, and I think it's going to buckle people, it really is. And which brings you back to, why Satoshi Nakamoto in 2009 or after 2008 global financial crisis, he invented Bitcoin as some sort of answer to the future. Did you want to say something, Red Bird?
I was agreeing. No, I like, yes, so much yes. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I love the passion that comes through.
Yeah, sorry. Heart's on the sleeve. Like there's no
What did
I can't
this
golf
mysterious
either.
Nakamoto have to say?
I have no poker face and I can't golf.
That's
So
okay.
I just came from Top Golf. We had a work event and I got to see my people. Like I don't have to go into the office anymore, but I love my people so much. And especially since like, and now like when we hang out, we only are just like having fun. It's like, oh, we're having a, team, and our team is like 50 something people, right? The team of like 50 people at Top Golf. Just so much fun. But so why my face lit up. So Sammy, you're so right. That's exactly, Bitcoin was an innovation from the last financial crisis. That is something we should all have on our minds right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, these moments, these
Exactly.
bear markets creates like this is a petri dish for innovation. Like I get excited about this stuff. Like, and
Yeah,
that's what I mean. Like, don't focus on the red bubbles, right? Like don't focus on the things that aren't going right today. Like where are you going? Put your head where your feet are now. Make forward progress down the field. Set those goals and just go for them. Like nothing's going to get in your way. And as long as your heart's into it, nothing's going to freaking get in your way. Like
that's right.
Yeah.
But like, so when we had the GFC and everything went up the shitter, and then Satoshi Nakamoto came out and bought Bitcoin out and was giving away for free. Giving to people for free, and so I bought pizzas with it, which are worth millions of dollars. But to see something go for free to $65,000 go, and now cryptocurrency being $1 trillion market, it's actually an acceptable financial product. It's not like your old, and there is still heaps of scams and it's still shrugged off. I know that, but when you got $1 trillion market, something, it has to be taken seriously. So, I mean, surely Satoshi Nakamoto must have some inkling of doing the right thing for the future, because it wouldn't have got adopted so readily. And even though it's still young, we're still getting there. And I just want to ask, do you ladies know, and I'll cover Australia too, do you know what the US total debt is?
Not offhand, no.
I lost track of it. Like it's somewhere, I don't know, double digit trillions. Like,
Yeah,
it's so beyond reason. Like it's such an inappropriate number. What are you thinking? What do you think this? Like it was at an inappropriate number before all of the COVID mechanisms that came in. Like it's just, I don't think it's been appropriate in my lifetime, and it's been like astronomically inappropriate since I've been in my world, and it just keeps getting worse. It's like I feel like I'm, like okay, like
I mean, I think my mind doesn't even fathom how big it is. I'll tell you, because I've got it up now. I'll tell you both. So USA total debt is $26.7 trillion. Right?
Okay, I thought it was 30, but yeah, 26.7. I rounded up.
Wonder crypto is so I
mean, Australia total debt is 834 billion, because you got to remember we've got 26 million people. You guys got 330 million people. So, that's why the figures are like they are. But that number, can your mind even imagine? Is there even that much money in the world?
Well, the biggest challenge we have, and the biggest challenge the government's going to have with raising interest rates this time, is the last time in the 80s, we didn't have that number. It was still probably inappropriate, but it wasn't that inappropriate. How are we going to service our own debt if they raise rates too far? How are we as the U.S. government going to service our own flippin' debt if we keep increasing rates to that effect? So we got a serious situation coming here. It's going to be really, really interesting. I mean, call me crazy for calling it interesting and not being doom and gloom about it, but like I don't feel like everything's just going to collapse into ruin. Like I think we're going to have to get innovative, right? We're going to have to do some belt tightening. We're going to have to get innovative. We're going to have to, take stock. all of us collective, the world is going to be collectively taking stock and collectively coming up with opportunities to be innovative. And I know I sound like a Pollyanna, sunshine and roses, but I'm not feeling
I'm
like,
here for it.
I genuinely don't feel like, a comet's going to land on my head right now either. Like
Yeah.
we'll find a way. We always find a way. We'll find a way again. Humans are resilient.
Yeah.
But it's crazy pants. Like
Yeah.
It is, isn't it? It's like, they will never, the traditional financial system can never pay that money back. No matter how many generations, it's basically impossible. Like, so in my mind, that's why I'm like, I'm happy to be in crypto and I'm happy to be going where we're going. And I think, well, they had a computer and they taught this computer how to play chess against itself, and it taught it so many strategies on how to win. And then after this computer was playing, it actually taught itself new strategies they'd never seen before. So, computers are so smart. We've got smart money. All our money is going digital. Why can't we work out some sort of app or system that will conquer and master our financial system?
I mean, there are many projects in the works that are not accessible to the public before, like at an era where they're like still affordable. Now is the time to accumulate them while they're still here, like around here somewhere, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And
oh, go ahead.
family, no, no way. I gave it the 1, 2, 3. You go. No,
No, it's gonna have to do that. Because I mean, we just can't keep doing this whole my grandfather in the coffee shop, in the late 90s going, what do you mean a cup of coffee is $2.50? Cup of coffee is 10 cents, right? Like that's the inflation he saw in his lifetime. So I mean, this is just, you just keep are we just going to get used to $9 lettuce? I mean, in some ways, with that level of debt, yes, it's like $9. Like, we're not going to be shocked about $9 lettuce anymore. It's going to be grandpa and when Starbucks, he was still alive when Starbucks came out, and he's like, "What the frick is coffee's now? What, $5 for a cup of coffee? This is insanity!" Like he was
so bitter. Try it.
He was the perfect depression era, like Rust Belt, like grandpa,
Yeah, $5 for a better
his
cup of
outrage was like so spot on, and but also so just, I don't know, it's definitely shaped my mindset, and why I'm like, yeah, crypto, yeah, innovation, yeah. Like, you guys argue against the possibility of the market cap of this project can't go to there, it can't go to there, and I'm like, well, grandpa didn't think the national debt would ever be $30 trillion either. So like, never say never, guys, because we're here.
Right.
And
that is coming from, our advice comes from, and our financial perspectives come from a few places, right? They come from personal growth. They come from nurturing. They come from exposure, they come from like self-talk, self-taught, all these things, right? I think I probably repeated a couple in there, but you get the gist. So
yeah, exactly.
like, now we have the opportunity, and knowing better and seeing better, we have the opportunity to educate those around us. So we're looking at 2 possible solutions coming up in the future for a head of lettuce that cost $9. Excuse me, that was hard to swallow. Grow your own. And if you don't know how, you can Twitter at me, and I will do a DIY video on how to grow your own head of lettuce, how to start it from a head of lettuce that you can purchase at the grocery store now for $9 and regenerate it yourself for a life cycle. So if that's something you're interested in, you could tweet at it. I'll do that on a weekend.
I have a black thumb, and I did a little baby one. a little baby romaine. Oh, it's so much fun. Like I can't grow anything. Like that's why I have to live in a forest, because otherwise, like it would just I'd live in a wasteland.
Listen, you have
It
many skills
doesn't
and
like make
talents.
sound at me. Like it's not like, yeah, I'm really good with things that make sound when they need food or water.
The fact that you even had the thought or the ingenuity to do that in the first place. So there's one, you're a go-getter. You already have a billionaire mindset. You're like, okay, $9 lettuce, watch this. Here's my solution. I will no longer purchase your $9 lettuce. I will grow my own. Now that sounds a little free to me, but that's
It
like,
sounds awesome. Here in Australia, we have heaps of people that grow their own
right. And
smart
here's the second
herbs.
solution to that is we down the line will see token, and Fashion Coder and I talked about this last night. We will see tokenization of, I mean, really, if we don't see it across every product on the market, on the main market, I would be surprised. Coming from a background of being a manufacturer and looking at the back end and the back door to these big box retailers, holy hoopla. And one of those things that comes along with it was a barcode. Well, barcodes are, they're going to be a thing of the past. QR codes are about to, everybody's just figured out how to use them. Haha, suckers, see you later. Now we're on to something else. Tokenization of these assets is traveling down the blockchain as we speak. Like Web3 is developing right before our eyes. Like things are just poof. Once regulation gives us some clarity, we will see massive changes either way, right? I'm looking forward. These are the things that I say give me a billionaire. Like, who am I to say, like, I have a billionaire mindset? But I say I have a billionaire mindset, so it shall be. And these are things that I get excited about. I get excited to learn, oh, wow, okay, so here's something for accredited investors. Like, how do I get this out here? Here's something for my friends that are DCAing and trying to figure out, okay, I have 3 kids, gas isn't getting any cheaper, bread isn't getting any cheaper, college is definitely not getting any cheaper. Where is college actually getting your kids these days? That's a different stream.
That
Oh my gosh, I almost fell off my chair. See, I almost fell off my chair thinking about college.
It's costly enough to make anyone fall out of their chair. You're good.
That's something that's pushed me over. But one of the tools that you had talked about, Redbird, and Sammy, you kind of touched about this too, is like doing like activities outside of just staring at your screen. What is something, Sammy, that you do to completely, like you had mentioned that you went out with the girls, like what's something else that you do daily instead of checking the screen?
So I am trying to just reconnect. Like I thought now if we're going into a bear market, I'm in a position with my crypto where I want to be. I know that we're not going to go up anytime soon, so I'm just be holding on. So I decided maybe I just should focus on my work a bit more. Because crypto is my main passion. And to be honest with you ladies right now, that if I had to put more of my passion into crypto when Hex launched, I would be in a much better position today. Rather, I was really focused on the work I was doing at the time, and it sucked the energy out of my body. So even though now, like this job I'm doing, no, as you both know, I just work in insurance, but I'm like bottom line, and I love it. I work from home. I do 10-hour days. It's easy. It's repetitive. For the money I'm earning, they don't expect a lot from me, and I like it like that. But I'm very well. Crypto is my passion. Like that is my heart and soul. That's my hope for the future, my job. But I thought, well, if it's going to be quiet crypto, I did speak to my boss and I said, maybe I could look at doing something else. So what we have at our work is we've got like a whole range of different roles, and you can like do a day in their shoes. So you can do this whole different, and you can still get paid. So I thought, over the next couple of years, it's going to be quiet. I might focus on work a little bit more, and try a few different new roles out, and just really focus on my career a little bit more, but not entirely, because crypto is my passion. I mean, at the end of the day, like my job's really good and I like what I do, and my boss is great, my team's great. But at the end of the day, you're making another company, you're working for a company that making them rich.
Right.
And I want to make myself rich. All my energy and passion, I want to see the benefits of that. I don't want this company to reap the rewards that I'm building every day. My relationship with customers, I want to personally profit from what I'm doing. That's why my energy is focused mainly on crypto, and my work takes second place.
Yeah. Have you thought about a way to coordinate those two things for you, like using what you know through your job and, maybe getting, like, you had made an excellent suggestion, just rewind, suggestion to me earlier, thank you, about doing TikTok videos. And maybe that's something that you could do to, like, if you're like on the low, I don't know, like if that's something like commission based or something like you could work your way into. Maybe that's like, and here we are talking bear market billionaire mindset strategies. If you're not in a position to receive commission, and you start bringing your insurance company and you're making them money, maybe there's a way you could negotiate with them, because you're worth it. You're bringing them the attention, you're making them money, job just about broke, right? And we're trying to break through those barriers. But there's two birds with one stone, so to speak. You're growing your own audience authentically through your TikTok, and you're also honing your skills as an agent or whatever position you're in the insurance industry. You're honing these skills. So you're providing a valuable service, and you'll be able to reach people out there in a world that might not necessarily ever expose themselves to crypto, but are looking for great insurance.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see the two. I don't see the two really. That connected. Whereas insurance, if you don't have insurance, like, what are you even doing living? Like, you get people ringing up who have car accidents that don't have insurance. You're like, mofo, like, what are you doing? Like, how can
Well, they're
anyone
assessing your
not have
risk, right?
insurance?
Which is
Right?
something that you do in crypto. You assess your risk. Okay, what's the risk in
Dude,
me banging up my car? And someone else says, like, what's that? You dollar
yeah,
analysis into that one. Like, okay, if I hit that bend, it's going to cost me a penny. But if I bang
yeah.
up your Toyota, see ya.
That's
That's
it. You're thinking of the future, and I don't understand. Like, it boggles my mind to see. I would never even drive. If I bought a brand new car, I would not put one wheel over that driveway without being insured.
yeah.
I just wouldn't. But
And
yeah,
that's your
insurance
risk assessment.
insurance companies, they make a lot of money, right? Yeah, like, we've had big floods here this year, like massive floods, and they paid out. A lot of people lost homes,
Oh,
cars. They paid out a lot. But the amount we pay for insurance, they make a lot of money too. Like, the company I work for, training programs are freaking top notch. Like, they put a lot of money in their training, a lot of resources, and it's quality. But they've got money to burn. So for me, insurance companies, I love working in the insurance industry, and a lot of people say they'd never leave it once they start. But yeah, crypto is like insurance for yourself, but I think it's a really different thing. Like, insurance
I'm
is
really
more
segue out of
traditional.
it, though. Segue
What's
out
that?
of it. Yeah, you just said it. You just said you're perfect. Like, crypto is insurance for yourself. That could be your
Yeah,
first video, your first
yeah.
30-second clip.
Well, I'm on TikTok, Lindsay. I do all hex stuff
You
though.
follow
Like,
Sammy on TikTok.
yeah, follow me on. I'm Sammy Check Your Hex, and you're on TikTok because I just saw you this morning.
I am, but I'm not active. I can only handle so many social platforms at once.
Yeah, but you can connect a lot of them and just post from one.
Yeah, that's
And,
true. I could get my social stuff together. My suite. Good
and
point.
that's a good thing. Lindsay, over the bear market, you could get all your social media happening. Like, and the good things with that, if you go by the same name on all platforms, and it's easier for people to find you, and you can put all your stuff. And then even on Instagram, you can post on Facebook and some others at the same time. You do one post, but it goes out to, because some people like Facebook, some people like Twitter, some people like TikTok. I love TikTok. I'm addicted to TikTok. It's terrible. But yeah, I've been putting a whole heap of hex stuff on there. And I've got, like, I think I'm gaining followers so quick, and it's not just like my face. I'm not even putting my face on there, Harley. It's more like just putting some photos on there and just reading out aloud, stuff about the bear market and
That's
simple stuff.
Well, I
So
hope that your TikTok channel grows enough so that it gives you some like fun income on that one too. So that, like, while you're bearing down and you're moving forward, paring down, no pun intended actually on that one. You know, you're doing the work and you can subsidize it in some way. So let's get her some followers.
Nice. That'd be
Yeah,
nice.
follow Sammy on. I'm TikTok illiterate. I need to like step it up. Like that's my old lady showing.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna, if you go on TikTok, you will love it. I guarantee it.
I'm sure I'd fall right down that rabbit hole. I am definitely Alice. Like it doesn't take much for me to fall down rabbit holes. Like I'm like
Yeah.
I'm the curious cat. Like I'm like white rabbit. Okay, let's go. The deer. Let's go.
Yeah, you're gonna love it.
Oh,
But one
absolutely.
of the things that you mentioned that you were doing, which I had one of those non-poker face moments again, was, you know, even just taking this opportunity to focus on your fiat job and creating more fiat abilities to buy at these prices is investing in your crypto life. So like, you know, new exploring opportunities in your company. Like I did a job shadowing like a week ago. With a department I'm super interested in. It's very different from the type of analysis I currently do. It's a different type of analysis, but one that I think would definitely speak to my skills. The managers do as well. Politically, switching teams is a little bit rocky, and then also like they don't want to. They're a newer program, so they're not accustomed to having anyone with my level of experience in there. So they're thinking that they can get it at a different value that I'm willing to give. So like, but that might be my bear market project, moving into a different, and it's the most innovative programs I've been exposed to in my career. So if I'm going to be in my fiat world, like that's, you know, if I'm going to be in my fiat world, if I'm going to keep my head where my feet are, like make it happy, like make it joyful, make it interesting. Like don't just sit there and be bored and cranky. Like nobody wants that. Like, you know, that's no way. Bored and cranky is no way to be. So
there's solutions for that. If you're stuck at your job, throw some headphones in, listen to a stream, listen to a podcast, let's do an audio book. It doesn't have to be about crypto. It could be about how to communicate better.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what I've been doing since Twitter Spaces came on board. Like I've just been, you know, trying to incorporate just the jargon, you know, like, so I'll listen to Spaces and that allows me to be interactive. Like I can turn my mic on and like ask to be a speaker and have a 5-minute conversation. They'll be like, I got to run. I got a conference call. So it's a little, listening to streams is good too, but I like the Spaces because sometimes it gets interactive with the information.
Yeah.
But both of them, that's what I've been doing for the duration, like right now, just to kind of, again, the jargon. I'm like, I have no idea what you guys just said. Like, you know, I don't know that acronym. I don't know. And it's a combination of like technical, finance, urban dictionary. Like, I don't like, you know, text, you know, like, you know, whatever is that I have no idea what you just said. I'm going to have to like just pause you for a minute and go look up like 6 things. But that also keeps me from, you know, getting, you know, my day from getting dull when I've been doing what I've been doing for a really long time. Like sometimes when you're very experienced, you know, it feels good to be really good at something, but it can also get really flippin' boring.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You work in TradFi. How could that ever be boring?
I work in what? Oh.
No, honestly, like once you see the other side of it and you really understand where money comes from, what it is in the root of its essence to what it has become today, what the dollar bill, the paper dollar bill symbolizes today, and whatever currency that is. Whatever denomination. Sorry.
It's just one big giant freaking exchange. You know, when you were talking about the way you can grow lettuce from your lettuce, you know, I was thinking about how one of my solutions to inflation, which isn't even a solution. It wasn't even a solution. I just like doing it. I barter. I'm bartering right now for eggs. I barter for produce. Like I love being around animals. So I critter sit for my friend with the epic garden and her chickens. I haven't bought eggs in since the chickens started being, you know, like went from this big to like chickeny. So, you know, like I haven't bought eggs in 6 months.
$8.
And they're totally like, they are the most spoiled chickens on earth. Their eggs are like, I mean, these are we're talking eggs that would cost you probably, $1 an egg in like in Whole Foods, whole paycheck. I used to call it, like, like they would literally be $1 an egg. And then I just like, she's like, we're going out of town. Will you watch the critters? I'm like, hell yeah. Eggs, lettuce, like when you guys get back, we usually talk about, whatever we've been happening. We catch up over a bottle of wine. We go hiking and get my cardio in. Like, it's just 100% win. And then all of a sudden I looked up and I'm like, oh, inflation sucks. Like, hey, I don't have to buy eggs anymore. I'll just keep bartering. That's all money is. It's just a different form of barter. And if you think of it that way, it makes it less scary, and it demystifies the whole thing. And it's part of the whole, like, it makes the idea of being a billionaire accessible. Everything we're doing right now, that's really what crypto does, is it takes off, it removes that ceiling that says you can't be that. Like, only, Gateses and Musks and those guys can be that. Only these people, Bezos, can be that. Like, crypto has the ability to take off that ceiling completely and completely change your mindset. And you're not going to get there if you don't believe you can. So that's step one. Step one accomplished.
Hell yeah. That's right. Positive thinking. And, I mean, if you've been in crypto, and anyone, that's what I say, anyone should look at crypto. If you've seen your portfolio in a bull run and the excitement, and you just go, oh my God, and the possibilities are endless. Crypto is designed to make a lot of money off a little bit of money, and anyone can do it. Anyone can do it. It's just, all you got to do is look into it, just research and see what's going to get you the best deal. I know we're in the best crypto in town. Like, we're really blessed. We're really lucky to be in the Richard Hart ecosystem, and we're expecting a lot from Richard. And I have full faith in him. I still have full faith in him from the minute I started watching him years ago. Like, I mean, he loves to boast, and he's not going to he's going to have something to boast about. This Pulse chart will be something to boast about. You watch him boast. With the Pulse chain launch, it's been delayed, like Hex was delayed. But, I have a feeling, this is what I think. So Richard Hart likes to make people rich. He wants to make more people rich, more and more and more. As many as he can reach, he wants to reach. He's got the documentary coming out. So what he wants to do is try and reach as many people as possible. Whether, I don't know how it's going to be coordinated, but the Pulse chain launch and the documentary launch will somehow be coordinated to try and reach as many people and get them in early. So, people get the opportunity to make some decent money,
Yeah. Is there a network? Has there been a network secured for the launch of the documentary?
I don't think so. I think they're still working on, it's a bit like, it's a bit like how film festivals are, would be my guess. Like, again, this is not my world, but, where the film gets created and then it might be screened to a couple of different platforms. And I mean, that's your best option for getting the best offer and the best adoption, right? Potentially, I mean, they probably have put out feelers with, various platforms. And then once it's in the can, they'll be able to, like, okay, here it is. Who's the highest bidder? And it'll go from there.
Well, can I just add? Sorry, Redbird. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I could be 100% wrong. I just live in a town that does film festivals. So.
No, you're right.
A couple of them I've lived in.
This team is an award-winning documentary making team, right? So obviously they're going to have the connections and the know-how if they want to get the documentary on Netflix or Amazon Prime. Plus, I heard a rumor from one of our friends who we know very well that the CEO and the CFO of Netflix will be at PulseCon.
Interesting.
No way. How fun is that?
Interesting, hey?
Yeah, for sure.
There are so many exciting things coming up at PulseCon. I cannot wait. And it is just 100 days away, Sammy, you said?
Yeah, it is. Oh, hang on.
Sammy, do you think it's definitely going to be Netflix then?
Well, I can't. I mean, I don't know if it will, but these guys know what they're doing. Put it that way, and they've got the funding to do great things. So
Yes, they do. The community's been very generous, and I mean, I know they put in their own, but I know the community's also been very generous.
oh yeah, I've got full faith in them. You know,
Georgia
I mean,
said that Apple TV is also fighting for content.
Yes, so that's the
Yep.
thing is I think there's I'm like I don't know if they have anything selected because right now like there's a doldrum that happened with all of these producers when they couldn't make any content during COVID, right? Like how long has it taken for, the second season or the next season of your favorite show to come out? It's been, for some of them it's going to be 3 years. So like there's been a production dirt like there's been a lack of production for a few years, so they might have multiple opportunities to go to the highest and best. It'll be interesting. Exactly, Georgia's right. Netflix has a broader market, so it'd be better for us to go with whatever platform has the broadest market, but the producers might also go with the most money. So like I don't know how much Richard has say in that, whether he gets it to pull for what's best for the community or what's best for the people who are producing the film or the investors.
yeah.
It'll be interesting.
Well, you know what? People like, especially boys like fast cars, nice cars, guns, money. Everyone loves getting rich. I think the documentary is appealing for so many reasons. It ticks so many boxes for people in general. Like Richard makes it sound like a bit of a fairy tale, and some of the skits I've seen actually looks like it's too good to be true. And we haven't seen the negative side, so obviously there's going to be both sides. And I know that there's a few community members that want to represent both sides to it. But that's life. I mean, we all know here right now. We've seen the Hex community. Some people have made amazing returns on their Hex investment. So for me, I mean, yeah, if they can just get their foot in the door with Netflix, they're gonna have it made. Netflix is worldwide. It is the shit. So and I think they can do it. I really think they can pull it off because I think if they're winning awards and it's as good as they say it is, I think they can do it. I've got full faith in it,
Oh, absolutely. No, I mean, I think it's and you've got to have the drama, right? Nobody like, even the Disney movies, the fairy tales, like they've all got the villain, right? You got to have that drama arc. Otherwise it's boring as pot. Like it's just boring.
Yeah.
It's like soup, like,
Yeah.
without
the
the
thing
it's just
is,
boring.
the thing is, like, everyone loves a hero, right? So what I feel about Pulse launch and the documentary is there's got to be some sort of hero here. It's like something big has to happen, like on both of them, and it's going to have to make Richard Hart look pretty good. So even Hex now, I mean, it's a great time to get in if they put the documentary on. I mean, look at the prices, but
Yeah.
you would have to know cryptocurrency to get in because the market cycles. Because anyone getting in now is going to say, well, when's it going up? When I'm going to get, when Lambo, and it doesn't work like that. It's not get rich quick overnight,
When Lambo. Oh,
I don't know.
But 87 days still Pulse gone. And isn't it great that we're going to be doing all this stuff over a bear market? Like, I'm not expecting any crazy price action for at least, a while. Well, I was having a look at the market. Bitcoin halving early May 2024. Now we don't usually see a high in Bitcoin for another year and a half after that. So that's midway through, 2025 or September 2025. But Hex is different, Pulse is different, it's a different ecosystem. The whole system states being copied, never been done before. We've got a documentary coming out, the Pulse chain launch. There's exciting things happening that will affect the price. So it's not all going to be dismal, boring stuff. It's going to be exciting stuff.
yeah. That's you're staked, right? And you come in, and part of it is getting to like see where others, if you're staked, right, you might as well come in and hang out and check out the community, right? Because you're already in there doing your research, right?
Exactly.
You're already in the
Exactly.
Discord, you might as well be social because that gives you something to do during the bear market too. So you have like minds that are getting excited in these community chats, and you're finding out about other opportunities that have um, like utility or will have utility after clarity from regulation. There's so many projects out there, there's different networks, and part of what we do here at Vibra is, really investigating those, but we're also out there meeting other communities. And I'm wearing a Pulse Chain shirt. I'm going to New York City soon, and I'll be wearing Suzanne's art, the Pulse Chain bling bling, and I'll
Oh,
be
so
having conversations with others that are, let's say, heavily invested into other networks. And that opportunity alone, just to be in that room, I'm like, who, me? What? And I'm also like honored and excited. And it's part of, getting into the ground, doing your research, doing your homework, putting your nose to the ground, taking risk assessment, dollar cost averaging into these things, and knowing when you have an opportunity in front of you that you cannot let your own fear get in the way. No more.
yeah,
No,
exactly.
like trust your own intelligence, for heaven's sake. Trust what you know and what you've done before. Have faith in yourself. Like, it's not even, you don't even have to like just be like, oh, like sometimes people say like, the opposite of fear. Like, the opposite of fear isn't just, like, you know, walking in blindly. The opposite of fear is, understanding, the field in which you're entering and being prepared for it and being ready. And I mean, that's the thing that's so great about, and as Sammy was saying too, like, and you were saying, just, you know, with Hex, be staked, use the code, use all the features of the code. Don't like, oh, okay, I bought this car and it looks really pretty in my garage, but I'm not going to drive it. Like, like, it's like,
Yeah.
like, you're not using all the features of the code. Like, there's other coins that don't do anything other than just, be liquid. Go be liquid with them. If you're
Yeah.
going to use Hex, just stake the dang thing. And then, the ecosystem's so great that, other things have come out where, you can leverage those longer stakes and still have opportunities if you have a life event. That's been my favorite evolution of 2022, is watching some of the other things that have come into the ecosystem that allow you to both plan for your future and feel like you have options if you have a major life event that comes up.
Absolutely.
I think you guys are going to lose me here in a minute or so. So I'm either going to move inside or sign off.
We can continue this conversation any day, anytime, anywhere.
Otherwise,
I
I'll just move.
know the three of us could. I can't hog any more of your time, although I'd love to. I could keep you guys on here all night. So I appreciate your time, but I should probably let you go because I know that you guys have busy lives too. So I like, is there anything that you want to share with us, Sammy? I'm here
No,
to
just it was really nice to catch up with you ladies, on stream and talk about crypto. And I'm looking so forward to meeting you. I really am. I'm so excited about PulseCon. Lindsay, do you have any plans? I know that we're going to either go to breakfast or go. What are we doing? Are you coming out with it yet? What are your plan for us?
I have something exclusive planned for the ladies, so I definitely will talk more about that. But it's just for a select few of the it's just for a select few. So I'll get back on that one. But I know that there are more opportunities to get the women together in one singular space. So I'm working on more details with that with another one of our awesome community members who has been so busy behind the scenes coordinating so many fun, like Vegas on top of PulseCon. Woo! I mean, drink your water, eat your fruits and veggies so you have lots of vitamins, get lots of rest, clear out your chakras, get your portfolio set, DCA in your way, write in your journal about your goals for PulseCon. Like, let's make this happen. And we're like, you can do whatever you want to. I'm so excited for it. But
Yeah.
but yes, you are on my list. And you absolutely, I'll get to you guys. If not, I will, with all of the community, I'm definitely going to be putting something out together, because my goal for the Hex conference was to get every single, because when I'm a Sagittarius, right? I was like, "Phew, every single woman in that conference will get on stage." And some women were like, not my face on camera. Thank you. And I was like, I understand that and I respect that 100%. So my goal is adequately adjust to 99.9% of the women at PulseCon to get together at some point to document a truly what will be a historical event. So I'm excited.
Awesome.
What about you, Redbird? What's going on with you? Are you signing off?
I'm sorry.
I didn't want to lose you.
Oh, no. I'm so excited. I really much enjoy my in real life experiences. Social media is great for me. It's a tool to make those in real life connections. So getting together with everyone that I had the opportunity to meet face to face for the first time at the Hex conference, like, I went to the Hex meetup the year before, and honestly, I was just like, I have no idea what's going on here. Like, it was too much to digest. So like, when the Hex conference, I feel like I actually made some better connections and met some more people. And to just be able to see you all again in person and get together and do that is just, and that's just step one. Then we've got, a party every night. Like, I don't know, I keep extending the booking, right? Like, okay, I need to add a day here and I need to add a day there. I don't know what the frick I'm going to do. Like, I don't think Hexy B is being honest about how bad she is at golf. And I just saw how bad I am at golf. Like, I don't know what the heck I'm going to do about, the crypto sparback. I think I agreed to do. So it'll be fun. Like, I was terrible today, but I had a blast because I just, I don't care if I'm terrible as long as I'm smiling.
Exactly. It's all about the fun.
100%. There's so many things: the parties, the golf tournament, what Lindsay's secret plans.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's gonna be fun, and it's also an opportunity for us all to kind of maybe take a break from the 720 whatever the megahertz is for like getting your blood pumping dancing. What is it? Beats per minute? 180. Anyway, that's a different stream at a different time. We're talking about raising your energy levels and stuff. I can't do that because I got to go to bed sometime tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ladies, thank you so very much for joining me tonight and going through and showing like real relatability to what a billionaire mindset truly looks like. It's the ability to stand and pivot. It's the knowledge to know when to hold them and when to hold them still, and the ability to work through your fears, grounding activities for yourself that you do daily, and ways that you reach out and connect with your friends and family. Thank you for sharing all of that with us. Tomorrow night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Vibra Finance CEO Adam and Hex Machina will be talking to PulsePot and going through their project. And I'm really excited to see what they uncover for the community. So tune in tomorrow night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll see what they have to say. Awesome. Ladies, thank you.
Awesome. Good to see you. Thanks for having us. Talk to you soon.
Thank you, everyone in chat, for coming.
Thank you, chat. Bye, guys.
Bye.
And I'm going to try it. Well, okay. I'll try that again. Good night.